Hello and welcome to Designs by Patty. This is my second video, so if I'm not doing real well, I am so sorry. I am still in the learning process of this, and today we will be working on how to put design on a clipboard. So I will be showing you exactly how I put one on a clipboard, and then we'll go forward from there. And I'm going to flip you around. And this is the clipboard we're going to be using. I got this from the dollar store. Literally the Dollar Tree, the $1.25 tree. And it is just a regular see-through clipboard. I'm going to be using this design that I got from LittleLee and Rose. And you can get that. Go to LittleLeeandRose.com, or you can go to IWantGlitter.com. Either one of those, and you can get this design from her. So first I'm going to just, with my craft knife, I'm just going to cut this out. This is just a regular, and I'm going to cut out the plastic that's surrounding the clipboard, and I'm just going to carefully go around this top portion to make sure that I can get all of this plastic off in one piece, hopefully. And I'm just going to go around it, following. Okay, now hopefully this whole thing will come off in just one piece. Now I'm trying to make sure not to touch this, because that is completely clean still from the plastic overlay. And we need to go across the top of this. I guess I forgot to go across the top. I don't want any fingerprints on that, so I'm trying to be very careful not to put any fingerprints on the front of the clipboard. Okay. So now this is just the clipboard. We'll get that off in just a little bit. All right, now I'm going to take my design, and it is a sticky sheet. So I'm just going to release the back of this. Right here. And it's like as if you were doing a tumbler. You're going to take just a little bit of this off. And then you're going to take your scissors and cut off that piece that you just pulled up. Then I'm going to take this. I'm going to see where it ends up at the bottom. But I'm going to start this even right here at the top. Right up. And I need to make sure that it is even on both sides. And I'm just measuring right now with the part that is not, that still has the backing on it, trying to make sure that it is completely equal on both sides. And then I'm going to lay this down. And smooth. I want to go up just a little bit more. Push that directly up against here. Make sure it's still equal on both sides. And I'm going to smooth that down. I'm going to pull that up, get that little wrinkle out. And smooth that down. Now I'm going to take my squeegee, and it's got a soft side here and a hard side. You want to use your soft side against the vinyl. So I'm going to pull a little bit of that vinyl up from the back, and then I'm just going to slowly push this down. And as I'm pushing this squeegee against it, it is pushing that backing off. I'm going to start it just a little bit, then you can just push this down, and that's going to keep it from getting any wrinkles or bubbles on the front. So I'm just going to go very slowly, making sure that I'm not getting any bubbles or wrinkles, and apply firm pressure. Not hard, just firm. And that's slowly sliding the backing off so that you can continue pushing this down as firm and getting it down without any wrinkles or bubbles. Okay, I got a bubble right here, so I'm going to lift up just a little bit. See if we can't get that bubble back out. Okay, it doesn't want to lift up, so I'm going to see if we can't push that bubble down to where we're working. There we go. I'm going to continue sliding this down. Trying to make sure we don't get any wrinkles or any bubbles. We still have these two little wrinkles right here. And I'm going to see if I can push them off to the side at all, and they're not wanting to. So we're just going to keep pushing down until we lose the entire backing. So now this is off. I have the backing off. So what I'm going to do is just get my craft knife, and I'm going to poke a hole directly in that bubble. And I'm going to push the air toward that bubble. That hole. There's another little one right here, so I'm just going to push that air until the bubble goes flat, and it'll go right out the hole, and you can't even see the hole. And that pushes the bubbles completely flat. Just try to make sure you get all your bubbles out, because you will see that under the epoxy. Now I'm just going through and checking. I'm letting the light kind of shine across it so that I can see if there's any bubbles. And then I'm just smoothing those bubbles out. Alright, I think we pretty much got the bubbles out. Oh, there's one right here. All right, I'm not seeing any more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come across right across here, and I'm going to trim off where there might be any okay. Sorry, I got a phone call. Okay, I'm going to come across right down here and cut that corner off so it doesn't hang off the edge. And I'm going to cut this corner off so it doesn't hang off the edge. There we go. All right. I have a straight edge that I'm going to run across the very bottom of the design to make sure that it is completely straight across the bottom. And since the design is doesn't have any lines or anything like that, it makes it easier if you cut off the bottom and no one will ever know. So I'm going to take my straight edge. Let me move this up a little bit so you can see it. I'm going to take my straight edge and put it directly across the bottom. I'm going to line it up over here to make sure that there's no, to make sure that it's completely straight. So I'm going to line it up along the edge of and I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. And that should give us a pretty good straight edge, about the same area that we have across the sides. So I'm just going to take my craft knife and go straight across that straight edge to make sure that it looks completely straight when we're done. And then I'm just going to lift up that piece and just peel that off. So now we have a completely straight edge across the bottom of the clipboard, and it's about the same amount that we have on either side. But again, it looks like it went just a little crooked, so I'm going to take this and make sure that our sides are straight. And I'm going to run it straight down the edge. And make sure that our sides are completely straight. This design actually has numbers measuring down the edge of this clipboard. So if they wanted to, they could measure something using the clipboard. And so I'm going to leave that option there to them. See right here, these are actually measuring. So they could be able to use that. And I'm going to just come over and do the same thing on this side to make sure that it's completely straight. Then I'm going to peel that up. I say I'm going to. It's being a little contrary. Doesn't want to come up. There we go. It's just a little bitty thin piece. There it goes. Well, let me just cut that again. It's not wanting to come up straight, and I don't want a crooked edge. I'm going to come in just a little bit more. And I'm just going to recut that, trying to make sure I press down a little harder to go through to get it to come up. Okay, let's see if it'll come up this time. There it goes. There. Oh, that looks so much better. Yes. Okay. So now this part of it is completed. If you can see, this side has a little bit of a... So I'm just going to cut this just a little bit to give that the same... There, just like that, to give it the same on both sides. And I guess I'll go ahead and cut on the top to give it that same on the top. Even though it doesn't need it, I'm just going to cut it so that it's the same on all four sides. Looks more symmetrical. There we go. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I am going to take a zip tie. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put this zip tie through there and then in through the top of here, because I want that to stay up so I don't accidentally epoxy it down. So I'm going to push this zip tie straight in here, and then I'm going to lift this up and zip tie it up so that I don't accidentally accidentally epoxy it down. Alright, so now that's going to stay up so that I can get... Alright, so now we're ready to mix up the epoxy. And what we're going to do, it doesn't take much to do this front side. So I am going to take just a little Dixie cup. I'm going to slide that out of the way and put my gloves on. And you be sure that you use your nitrile gloves, and just regular latex gloves do not, it'll stop the sticky, but it does not stop the actual fumes and everything from going through into your fingers, and then you can have a reaction on your hand. And you really do not want to have any kind of allergic reaction. So then I have my stir stick, and I'm going to be using fast set speed dry epoxy from Mr. Nola glitter. It is the speed dry, and you have the part A and part B. So I'm going to put the part B in first. I'm going to use my scale. Put the cup on the scale, and then you want it to tear out with the cup on there so that it's already measured the weight of the cup. So I think I'm going to use probably 20 part B. And so I'm just going to pour in, if it comes out, 20 of the part B. Came out to 20.65. So I'm going to tear that out and put in part A. I'm trying to get that as close as I can without going over. Just a little dollop. There we go. That's close enough. All right. Sorry, I got a child abduction alert, and so it stopped the video. So now I'm just going to mix this, and what I do is just kind of count to myself, so to 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and as I'm counting, I'm going around the cup to scrape the sides, and I'm scraping the bottom both directions, and then around again. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So then I scrape my stirring stick, getting it off all sides so that all of the unmixed that is stuck to the stick is now off. And then I count for another 30 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Then I scrape off my stirring stick, and the fast set is now ready. I get just a baby wipe, and I wipe my stick completely clean. I have a just a little something that I like to put my thing on, so that if any, my clipboard on, so if any epoxy goes over, it's going to fall off the edges and not stick to anything. So now I'm just going to take this epoxy. Now that's 40 cc's of epoxy, 40 grams of epoxy. And I'm just going to put that on here. I'm going to leave just a little bit in my cup to make sure that I have some in there. I have just going to slide this over and try to make sure that I get all parts of the clipboard with this epoxy, covering this design up. I'm going to the edges, trying not to actually go over the edges. Like here, I'm just going to scrape that off right there and wipe my finger off with that baby wipe. And you're going to come over to the other side and do the same thing, trying to make sure that you get all parts of the front of this clipboard completely covered evenly. Go straight to the edges and then come up to the top, coming across right here at the top, and then come to the edges. I'm going straight to the edges and lifting up as I get to the edge so that I'm not actually pushing any over the edge of, or trying not to push any over the edge of the clipboard. Now I'm just going over the entire clipboard, trying to make sure that I got it all. Be sure you get all the way to the edge up here. Just go over the edge of that design just a little bit. I didn't get up at the top of this one. So I'm just going straight to the sides. Making sure I get up to the top, over the edge of that design, and just come straight over and be sure that you go over the edges all the way. If you lift it up to the light, you can kind of see where that you might have missed, and just go back and forth and make sure you got the entire clipboard. I'm going to look down at the light, just trying to make sure that everything is even. Make sure I got to the edges on all sides. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's see, I'm just going to go ahead and use the rest of my resin. And just spread this out all over everything. Trying to make sure again that it's completely level and spread all the way to all sides. I had left that little bit of resin in there in case I needed to. If it didn't go to all the sides, then I would have something I could pour straight to it and kind of help spread it out. but this seems to be going on really well. Just going over the top up here again, making sure that that is entirely covered. All right, it looks pretty good. All right, wipe my stick off so that it doesn't stick on my spreading tool. I'm going to wipe that off completely. And now I'm going to take a torch and just come across the top of this to get real fast, trying to make sure that I don't have any bubbles. You want to use a torch and not a heat gun, because the heat gun just moves and heats up the epoxy, and the torch is what actually, with the O2, will actually pop the bubbles. I'm going to come across right up here, make sure there's none on the top. Just with the baby wipe, I'm just wiping that off, making sure there's none coming across the top. And I'm going to go around the edges, trying to make sure there's none going down underneath. Looked like it didn't get that edge, so I was getting that edge. Still a little bubble right there. There we go. Take my torch one more time, pop any bubbles that might still be there. Just go real fast, otherwise you will burn your epoxy. All right, now we're going to leave that alone and just let that dry, and then I'll come back. All right, thank you. We'll see you shortly. Okay, I am back, and this is now completely dry. It's been about, probably 4 or 5 hours since I've done this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this zip tie off, because I don't need it anymore. So I will go ahead and cut that off and take it out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is take that same thing that I had before, and I'm going to place it up underneath the clipboard, and I'm going to let this part of it hang off the edge so that this stays flat. Now it's very important that you make sure that there is nothing on your clipboard right now. You want to make sure it's clean. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves back on. And I have already picked out the colors that I think will go well with this. And they are from LittleLee and Rose again. These colors, these glitters. And they are Aesop. See if I can get that to come in. There we go. And I thought that would go good with the orange. And we have Alastair from LittleLee and Rose. Alastair. And I thought I would put this in also. This is Flynn from LittleLee and Rose. And I thought if I put these three colors in here together, that they would look nice in here. I think this Alastair is just almost too purple and not dark enough, so I'm hoping that the black Flynn will actually darken this up. So those are the three colors I'm going to be using. And now I'm going to take my cup and I'm going to measure out again some speed dry epoxy, and I use from Mr. Nola's glitter. And I need 20. I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to do 20 and 20, which will be 40. So 20 of B. So I'm going to go ahead and measure 20 of B. I hope I have it. There we go. I hope I have enough. And we're going to use a total of 40 grams of the Speed Dry Epoxy from Mr. Nola's glitter. So I'm going to use 20 of B and 20 of A. Now this is the A. I'm going to tear this out so that it goes back to 0, and now I'm going to put 20 in of the A in here. Don't get your lids mixed up, because they will seal on the wrong side, on the wrong lid, and you won't be able to get in it. So now I'm going to mix this up. And be sure that you go around and hit all the sides and the bottom of the cup. There we go. Sorry, I was turning another light on, hoping that'll help. And now wipe your sides of your stick to get off all of that. Get the I'm sorry, my dogs are in the background playing. And just be sure that you get the bottom and all sides. I'm going to wipe my stick. And then I'm going to get a baby wipe, and I'm going to wipe my stick off. And now I'm going to take some of the Alastair, and I'm going to pour some of that in there. And these are big flakes. These are not little flakes. And then this is Aesop. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. And I'm going to put some of that in here also. And these are also big flakes. And then I'm going to put some of the Flynn in it. Now let's mix all that up and see what it looks like. See if that's about what we're wanting. Yeah, I think maybe maybe a little more Flynn. That's really not too bad, actually. I'm going to put just a little more Flynn in there. Yeah, I like that better. All right. Now we're going to turn this over. Now we're going to hang the clip off of the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour this on the back and just kind of spread it all around. Just scraping all that out. I'm going to go ahead and wipe my stick off. And then I'm going to spread this out. I'm going to make sure to go to all sides, make sure that it goes over the edge just a little bit. I'm just spreading it to all the sides. And just spreading this out over the entire, well, that's a big flake there. I don't think we want that. Let's get that out of there. That was a really big orange flake. I didn't like that. And I'm just spreading this all the way out to the sides, making sure that we get everything covered. Because remember, whatever's on the side is what's going to be seen. There's another really big flake right there. Let me see if we can't get that off of there. There we go. And then just spread this all the way out. Just scrape my stick a little bit. Just keep pulling that epoxy to all the sides. I'm going to have to turn this a little bit to get this side a little better. I want some of that glitter over this side where you can see it from the front. So I'm trying to pull some of that glitter over, because I want you to be able to see it from the front also. I'm just going to make sure I get it to all edges, and I don't want any bare spots. So I'm going to try to make sure that I spread some of the glitter out from where I pulled it from a minute ago. I'm sorry if you hear my dogs in the background. They're, like I say, they're just kind of playing. I'm going to scrape this glitter off so that I can use it, this epoxy. I want it in this spot right here. I'm just going to kind of smooth over, make sure everything is nice and smooth, that I don't have any big pieces someplace that I don't see. Try to make sure I got it across the entire top, or all the way to the edges. Make sure everything is covered. We will probably put one more coat because these are chunky, so you'll probably be able to feel them. Now I'm just going to bend down and look over the top of that and see if I see any bare spots. Alright, that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to take my baby wipe and I'm going to wipe this off, and I'm going to wipe off my stick. This is a silicone stick, so it will come off of it if it dries on there, but it's just much easier to get it clean if you do it now versus later. So I'm just going to try to make sure that my stick is completely clean before I put all my stuff up. And wipe this off again, make sure it's clean. All right, that's going to sit another 3-4 hours, and then I will be back. Okay, we're back, and this is dry. I did give it a real light sanding just to get rid of all of the shards that were sticking up, and I think that's looking pretty good. If you look at it from this side, see how pretty that looks on this side. So now we're going to go ahead and mix up some more, and I'm going to get another cup. And I'm going to do this off camera, and when I'm ready, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and I have decided I'm going to add just a little bit of colorant in this. And this is Metallic Rustic by Luminaire by Jacquard. It is Metallic Rustic. And I'm just going to put a little drop in here first to see what it does, so I don't do an overwhelming amount. I don't want to do a whole lot. I just want a little color. So let's just do that one first and see what it does. I just wanted a little color in there. Alright, I want just a little bit more than that, so I'm going to do another little squeeze. You can add more, but you cannot take away, so just be careful of how much you actually add. There, that's more the color I'm looking for. I think that will look pretty up against. See, if you look on the side, that's how dark. It looks darker in the cup than it actually is. So I run it along the side to see what it actually looks like, and that's going to be very light. That's going to be about the color I want. So we're going to go ahead and get our clipboard. Put that back on so I don't spill it everywhere. And I have 50 grams of Fast Set Speed Dry by Mr. Nola's glitter, and I'm just going to spread that on there just like what we did before, just kind of around all of the edges and then through the middle so that it can kind of get put around there pretty easily. I'm going to get my spreader, just take all of this out because we're going to use it all. And just scrape the whole cup. And now I'm just going to spread this out over. Like I said, you can see that's just a very light color. It's not giving it much color at all, just very, very light. Be sure you go to all of your edges again. And just spread all of this out. It looked a lot darker in the cup, and it's not near as dark once you start spreading it out. And just be sure you get the entire back so that all of it is colored. You can still see those colored glitter that I'd put in originally. This is just going to give it a little bit more color on the front side, is more what I was looking for. And I'm just going to spread this, making sure I get all of the edges. Just like that. And I'm so sorry, my dog is barking in the background. I have Chihuahuas and Mastiffs, and it seems that one or the other is always calling or barking. So once this is done, I will give you I'll let you see the picture of it.